What's going on, guys? My name is Jeff and we are back with another video. Not behind the glass anymore, as you can see, because we have moved spaces. We are now in my new office space where I'll have a lot more creative freedom with expressing to you guys. And we are also back in a new sweater because it is now officially winter up here in Michigan. So it is very chilly in my basement. I don't have any insulation in case you couldn't tell. And enough with the introductory rambling. Let's go ahead and start with the video topic, which is going to be us going to go and find our new beta. So initially when I got the tank, I wasn't really sure if I wanted to have like just shrimp in it or maybe 2 or 3 guppies or tetras or something. But the more I thought about it, I already have a couple of guppies and swordtails within my 10-gallon tank. Obviously that tank is too small for any other kind of fish. Danios grow too big and need more space. So what I ultimately decided is that I wanted to give a beta a second chance. If you don't know the story, my first beta unfortunately passed away. And there were a couple of different reasons for that. The first and most important reason that I should go over with you is that I never had a lid to that tank. And a lid to a tank is really, really important. It protects everything inside of your tank. So if you're sitting there spraying aerosols in the air because maybe there's food odor in the house and you need to spray aerosols to get rid of the smell, that aerosol is going to fall into your fish tank. And if there's a lid there, it's gonna protect it from a majority of that, but there was no lid. So that poisoned the water some, and then it didn't help that when I noticed that my beta was sick, with what I assume is Epistylus, I ended up dumping Melifix in there, and I put the dose way too high. Like, I only used maybe half a thread, but it was still too much medicine. And ultimately, between the tank not having a lid and the Melifix poisoning the water, basically, it just became too much. So I went out and got a brand new tank with a lid, which was super nice. I'll leave a link up here or in the description below to my last video that shows that opening up process and setting up process. And I'm really excited to put something in it, but I wanted to bring my wife along with the process. Now, my wife really likes keeping her privacy, so I'm not going to show any live reactions from her, but she came home and she was delighted to see it. She was really happy with it, and she wanted a beta in it too. So we decided to go to PetSmart first to try and see what kind of beta PetSmart would have. And as we were browsing around the beta section, we probably took about 15 minutes, honestly, to look through all the betas. And it's really hard to choose one because betas come in so many different forms with their different tails, the different colors, the different breeds. Whether or not you want a female or a male beta, there's just countless options that you can choose from. Ultimately, there was like 2 or 3 betas that we wanted to kind of choose between, but the one that kept standing out the most to us was this really bright sky blue, sea blue, I'm not really sure what kind of blue he is, but a very, very nice light blue colored beta that looked very healthy. He didn't have any signs of illness. He seemed very active. He was very reactive to our touch on the lid and the container that he was in. So we ultimately decided on bringing him home. To adjust him to the process was fairly easy, like it is with any other fish tank. I just set his container into the water and poured in a few cups of the tank water in order to get him adjusted to it. And after about 15 minutes, I went ahead and slowly adjusted him into the tank. So when I was initially starting to put him into the tank, I didn't want to mix the water at all. I didn't want to mix the PetSmart water and put it into my tank water. You want to try avoiding that cross-contamination at every step of the way. So what I had to do was, of course, grab a net, but all of my nets, all of my fish nets were too big for this tiny little container. So what I had to do instead was I had to go to the sink and I had to like hold the lid. And I had to put my finger right here to kind of block it, and I very slowly drained out almost all the water until there was like a little bit in the corner where he just had enough to still be in water. And I just slowly eased him into the tank from there. And at first he was exploring around quite well. Obviously he was super curious about his new surroundings. He was sitting up on the leaf, he was looking at the filter, he was checking out the heater, he even likes He even likes resting on the heater. I'm kind of doing this about 2 weeks after we've gotten him. But day 1, he was super exploratory. And then days 2 and 3, he was kind of shy and hiding. But he started to recognize me, and he started to know that when I approach the tank, I'm either entertainment or food. So he started eating more. I'm personally not feeding him any beta pellets because I don't really like those. I don't think that they're very healthy for betas. Instead, what I'm feeding him is some fluval bug bites. Now, I use the fluval bug bites for my tropical 10-gallon tank for my gourami and the swordtails and everything in there. Works out great for them. They're super healthy and vibrant. So naturally, over the next few days, I've been recording his progress, seeing how well he's been adjusting to the tank. I've also been watching how well the filtration has been working in there. Filtration on the tank has been working out great. The water has not gotten cloudy yet. The tank cycled for about maybe 2 or 3 days. Now, I know this is super controversial, and there's already going to be somebody that paused the video or is ignoring this part right now, typing in the comments talking about, no, you have to wait 4 to 6 weeks before you can put in anything, otherwise they're all gonna die. That's not gonna happen, okay? So I do fish-in cycles, and fish-in cycles are very, very easy to do, even in a little 3-gallon tank. If you wait 4 to 6 weeks for your tank to get cycled, I mean, you can do that if you want to play it super safe and you have a sensitive species. But majority of the time, you're probably not going to have to do that. A majority of the time, if you just wait 2 or 3 days, there will be a starter colony inside of your filtration. And then from there, putting in fish is fine, because then that gives the bacteria colony something to eat off of from the fish waste and everything. If you just put in like ammonia or fish flakes or something to get the water started, the water is going to end up being cloudy, and then it's going to go through its bacterial bloom phase and everything. But if you do a fish-in cycle, and if you do the fish-in cycle properly, that's not going to happen. You don't have to deal with that headache. Maybe I'll do a video on doing a proper fish-in cycle at some point, but this is not that video. Anyways, about 1 week after, the beta really started recognizing me. Every time I approach the tank, he'll swim up from like, he has his home inside of the little barrel area, and every time I pass by the tank or he feels like the tank shake a little bit, he'll come out of the barrels and come out to the glass and kind of greet me. It's been really cool to see his personality start to really shine now that he's gotten super comfortable in his home. And my wife also really likes taking pictures of him too. My wife's personally posted a couple of TikTok videos of him. And throughout these last couple of weeks, honestly, I've struggled to really give him a name. I usually name well, actually, I'm lying. I'm not the one that usually names my fish. Usually other people name my fish for me. For example, Jamal named my 2 goldfish, Tiffany and Paul. My wife was the one that named our clownfish, Nemo, and our blue tang, Dory, and all those other things. I came up with the name Patrick for our starfish. You all know where that comes from. But as far as the beta, I want to be the one to decide what his name is, but I couldn't really decide on a name for some time now. I was trying to think of something Vietnamese related because my wife is Vietnamese, and I think it would be super cool to have a Vietnamese name for the beta, but I couldn't really think of anything. I was thinking of like calling him Cat Hoy, which Cat Hoy is just fish. You know, it was really dumb. So I started thinking about like, well, what's a really funny name that I can name him? I could probably like name him Bob or Paul or something. Well, we already have a Paul, god dang it. I feel like it would be really disrespectful to have a fish that's under Buddha's watch to be named something silly. And I've already got a fish in my saltwater tank that's named after a blue color, and that's Azul. So I don't really know what to call my beta yet, honestly. I've been chewing on it for like 2 weeks now, and I still can't think of anything. I could call him like the Spanish version of blue. I don't know what the Spanish word of blue is right now. Maybe it is Azul. I don't know. I don't know. I'll look it up. But or maybe like the Latin word for blue, or I don't know. I'll figure something out. Unless you guys have a suggestion, I don't know, let me know. Anyways, I think that's enough rambling from me. If you guys have any suggestions on like what plants I can put in his tank or what kind of name I should give him, please let me know down in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it. Be sure to give my channel a subscription so you can stay up to date with future videos. And I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. See you around.